That's an interesting sound.
It's like your mental health. If you're struggling and feeling overwhelmed, it's important to do something about it. It can be as simple as talking to someone or just taking a deep, calming breath to ground yourself. Because once you start to address the problem, you can go so much further. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org.
A careless driver can change your life in an instant. Do you know what to do or who to call? If you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident and do not have an attorney, call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free consultation. We can answer all of your questions and estimate the potential value of your case. Call Auto Accident Help Desk and connect with an expert personal injury attorney.
Call 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524.
Don't worry how to handle your medical bills, lost wages, and pain. We will get you the money you deserve.
They got me way more than the insurance company offered.
The consultation is free, and you do not pay any legal fees unless we win or settle your case. Make the smart call. If you've been injured in an auto accident, call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free legal consultation.
Call 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524. 800-269-4524.
And the top-rated African-American talk show host in the nation, according to Talkers Magazine. You're tapped in with Tavis Smiley right now.
Tavis Smiley, who is honored to have Adolph Reed Jr., Professor Emeritus at UPenn, as our guest in this hour. His classic book is called The Jesse Jackson Phenomenon, The Crisis of Purpose in Afro-American Politics. There are so many books written about Jesse over the years. I ran into Abby Phillip, the most recent book, CNN Anchor. Her book came out just a couple months ago, and she was on this program, and that book dropped. But now that we've funeralized Reverend Jackson, he's made his transition. There are all kinds of books that people are going back to and articles being written about the impact of the life and legacy, the work and witness of Jesse Jackson that we'll be discussing for many, many years to come, I suspect. But I wanted to look back at Adolph's classic book again called The Jesse Jackson Phenomenon that came out in 1986. And earlier in this dialogue, Adolph, you said a couple of things I want to see if you can kind of square for me. You suggested that in the mid-'80s, Reagan, Carter gets himself in some trouble. Reagan comes forth. So now we're being ushered into the Reagan era in the 80s. The left, progressives, Democrats, as you said earlier, are fresh out of ideas, which seeds the ground for somebody like Jesse to sort of come up. But on the one hand, you're saying the left is fresh out of ideas. On the other hand, you suggested a moment ago that the Democratic Party becomes a sounding board. Can you square those two things for me?
Yeah, I'll try. But first, I need to make a quick update.
Sure.
I came out of retirement in the summer, and I'm now officially distinguished visiting professor of politics at Mount Holyoke College. So I relocated from Philly to Springfield, Mass, where I was just able to go outside without a winter jacket for the first time in 5 months yesterday.
So Adolph, here's how this works. When you come on a program and you've changed positions, you've changed places, you tell the producers that, man. So I can give you your proper respect. You got to tell the producer that next time, Adolph. God dang it! All right, go ahead.
Yeah, well, yes, I think that's an important moment, right? Because the Democratic Party, well, and like I said, the key thing to keep in mind is that nobody really understood what the full thrust of the thing we were up against was. And there was a kind of business as usual interest group politics way of dealing through the Democratic Party, because that had been the dominant party for most of the post-war era.
Mm-hmm.
When the old bromides just weren't working anymore, space existed for somebody to invade or to declare or to claim a political vision that could unite a movement that would overcome the bad things, that could overcome the bad things that were happening around us.
Right.
And Jesse, as I think I started to say, was an ideal person, an immensely talented person, or a person whose immense talents were especially suited for articulating, those concerns and hopes. A problem was that, as he pointed out himself often, I think one of his phrases was, he's a tree shaker, not a jelly maker.
Mm-hmm.
And what was absent was commitment to doing the kind of everyday stuff, right? The kind of shoe leather based organizing
Right.
to turn the energy that Jackson's campaign generated, uh, into a self-sustaining political movement, right? And partly that had to do with the objective situation that nobody understood really, as I said, the totality of what we're up against.
Mm-hmm.
But it also had to do with the fact that Jackson had his strengths and he had his limits, like we all do.
Right.
And what happened was that whether or not this kind of debate might have happened in a public way within the electorate, if Jesse hadn't run in '84 and '88, and it's not clear that it would have, but what definitely happened was that the enthusiasm and the performativity around Jackson's campaign left, and especially since he was so successful in garnering black people's votes,
Mm-hmm.
left the other candidates off the hook in a way.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have to campaign for black voters in terms of addressing their concrete interests.
To your point about Jesse's ability and brilliance and connectivity to assuring himself black people's votes. I was reading a piece last night